Hello po sa lahat. Nandito po tayo ngayon sa office ni Attorney Bagsic. He is a lawyer and he can explain more about himself to us.
Hi Mels, good afternoon.
Can you please explain your role and how did you achieve it here in New Zealand?
New Zealand, well, we have to go back siguro to
Kahit sa Philippines.
Philippines. Background ko, I was born and raised in Tarlac. My father's Kapampangan and my mom's Bicolana. Pero they met in Tarlac, so doon ako pinanganak and lumaki. I studied there from primary to high school, and then nung college naman, I studied political science in Manila, Atty. de Manila, and also law school, Atty. de Manila.
So you finished that law school in Philippines?
Philippines, yes.
Tapos so lawyer ka na?
Yes.
From Pilipinas pa lang?
Yes, so after 4 years of political science and 4 years of law, I took the bar exam. Syempre, pag bar exam, medyo matagal ang preparation eh. Would take you at least 6 months to prepare and another 4 to 5 months to wait for the result. So, almost 9 years to become a lawyer. And then, after my oath taking as a lawyer, siguro mga less than a week, my family and I, we flew to New Zealand. Kasi may brother na ako dito sa New Zealand who's been living here since the 1990s. So parang graduation gift or passing the bar gift sa akin.
So was it a tour or really moving here?
Visitor. Actually, my entry was visitor sa New Zealand 2006. And of course, when I came here, wala talagang plano magstay kasi my plan was to become, of course, I wanted to become a lawyer and practice in the Philippines. But then, sabi ng kuya ko, Jing, parang single ka naman, walang family, walang work, walang babalikan, why not try New Zealand? And noong una hesitant ko kasi wala naman sa plano ko talaga mag-migrate. But then I told him na sige, if it would take me more than a year of study, uwi na lang ako. Kasi sawang-sawa na ako mag-aral that time.
9 years?
Yes, 9 years. So, but then when I went to the Law Society, the New Zealand Law Society, I got my qualifications assessed as a lawyer. And sabi nila, 1 year of study. So, I had to study for 1 year and take 5 exams to become a barrister and solicitor. So, the rest was history. Nung after assessment, umuwi na yung parents ko, tapos iniwan na ako dito.
Kaya mo na daw.
So, kasi free board and lodging with my brother. And
yeah.
of course, I owe that to my brother and his family, my sister-in-law. I mean, without them, I wouldn't be able to survive in New Zealand. And I have no reason to stay in New Zealand without them, of course.
So as a start, after getting your what's this license ba?
Yeah.
You started sa isang firm, law firm.
Yeah. Actually, before that, when I was studying, I was working part-time. I've tried Countdown, would you believe? Pack and Save, yung of course, I've tried applying in law firms pero mahirap. I mean, some law firms and some lawyers don't even know where the Philippines is. Tinatanong ko.
So it's actually the same with like some students here. Like although they were managers or they were engineers, you can't just get a part-time job as an engineer. They want full-time or they want you to be fully qualified. So yung part-time na makukuha nyo, 20 hours, is only mostly like just 20 hours nga lang part-time.
So, that was a bit of a struggle. Actually, nung nalaman nga nung father ko na gano'n ginagawa ko, abogado ka dyan, ba't ganyan ginagawa mo? Parang
nagpapak ka o teteller.
But then, at that time, syempre, I was young and of course, I needed what I need to do to become a lawyer. So, that was what I was doing back then. Pero, at the end naman, when I got admitted as a lawyer, so that's when I got the offers as a lawyer.
Pero iba naman kasi dito sa New Zealand, di ba? There's no discrimination of what you do. Like, integral part of the society kahit anong ginagawa mo. Halos lahat kahit mayaman ang parents, nagki-cleaning, so they want the kids to learn
Yes.
how to get money.
Kasi, of course, kailangan ko rin kasi tapusin yung studies and exam kasi without it, I could not be registered as a lawyer. I mean, same with nurses. I mean, if you don't do the CAP course, you wouldn't become registered. So, that was my pathway to become a registered lawyer in New Zealand, and that was my ticket in getting a job in a law firm.
So, initially, visitor visa, then you became a student visa, and then work visa,
and then a resident.
Did you get an open work visa after?
Actually, medyo madugo yung aking open work visa kasi before, when I studied, it was only part-time. And under the old rules, I wouldn't qualify for a job search because I did not study. I did not study full-time.
So actually, you're very familiar with the struggles of the students. And
what happened was actually I know this is a funny story because I wrote a letter to the Minister of Immigration back then, to the Labour Party. Actually, I wouldn't forget his name. His name was Clayton Cosgrove. I wrote a letter to him. I asked for an exception to policy. Please grant me a job search visa because I explained my situation, and then in-approve niya.
Wow,
so
possible pala yun.
I don't know if it still is possible now, but ganun yung story ko before. Kaya nakakuha ako ng job search, and of course I was able to apply to law firms because I have an open job search.
That's right. So after nun, nagka-work visa ka, and then currently citizen ng New Zealand,
yes.
Resident and then a citizen ng New Zealand.
Yes.
And currently you have your family here as well.
Yes.
So mostly po yung clients niyo, ano po usually? Students, or partners, residents?
In terms of visas, halo-halo eh. From visitor to student to work to residents to appeal to someone who's based in the Philippines, someone who's based in Auckland or Christchurch, someone who's based everywhere in New Zealand. And especially now, everything's online. So it's very easy to
spread
file
the news.
applications. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, marami pa akong clients na hindi ko nakita in person. Only in papers. So, it's only when I get to visit siguro sa city nila or when they come to the office, that's the only time I get to see them in person.
Ano pa po yung struggles na na-try nyo dito sa New Zealand?
Discrimination. I mean, I've experienced that one.
Racial discrimination?
Yeah, I mean, well, looking back then, I didn't think it was a racist comment. Kasi I remember that distinctly when I was interviewed by a lawyer in a law firm. Sabi niya, for someone who just arrived in New Zealand, you speak very good English. Parang, at that time, parang, okay.
Proud ka?
I'll take that as a compliment. But then, after the interview, teka, parang, may pagka-racist tayo, diba? Parang, so, and, yun, mga simple na ganun. I mean, some form of racism are not really, yung tipong on your face. But then, you would somehow feel that there is, a bit of racism when you look back and think of the things
once
that
you know
happened.
better.
Yeah. Oh.
What else?
What else ba? From work naman kasi once an employer has gotten to know you and have sort of knew the kind of work you're doing, the quality of work you're doing. So parang you get that respect from
Can't you do volunteer jobs? No.
I did some volunteer work in criminal courts before.
So to get that experience.
Yes, to get the experience.
But while you were studying?
No, I was already a lawyer back then. Criminal law, kasi back in the Philippines, I've always wanted to practice criminal law. Parang exciting. Pero when you get to practice criminal law, iba pala. So it's totally different and
frustrating.
Hindi naman, pero parang eye-opener, kumbaga. Parang iba, it's not what you see on the TV or the movies compared to what it's actual practice. And also back then, alam ko kasi walang Filipino criminal lawyer eh. So I was trying to become one of the sort of like pioneers ng criminal lawyer. Pero wala nang masyado nagko-commit na crime na Filipino eh. Which is a good thing. Diba? Usually drink driving eh. I mean, very rarely, siguro 5 years ago, when I was doing it, very rarely Filipinos committing crimes.
Which is good.
I think that's still true until now. But yeah, of course,
I hope they will keep it up.
Yeah,
They'll keep it up.
But of course, I still get calls about crimes, but I just refer them to other criminal lawyers kasi I'm not practicing criminal law anymore.
How about what are you thankful for in New Zealand?
Thankful for siguro, of course, just by being here in New Zealand, I think
Breathing the air.
Oh, lahat naman. I mean, everyone who came here would have compared the quality of life. I mean, of course, it's more fun in the Philippines. It's more food, more exciting. But in terms of, you know, the benefits of living here, raising a family, your work, quality of work, work-life balance, I think New Zealand will be on top. One of the top countries to be in the list. Pero, yun. And also, I met my wife here in New Zealand. I had my 2 daughters here in New Zealand. So,
subsidized healthcare for your daughters?
Yes. Like nga sinasabi ko na kwento ko sa mga friends ko sa Philippines eh, like kung pinagmamayabang is, you know what, nung nanganak si misis ko, ang binayaran ko lang parking. Wala akong binayaran from midwife to, from medicines to anything. Parking lang yung binayaran ko that day. Yun yung naalala ko.
After giving birth, sila pang mag-visit sa midwife at saka
so
blanket
that's something you don't get in the Philippines or other countries, I think.
What else?
I think also being sort of like, I would say, I like to think myself as, in a way, part of the community leader, in a way. Kasi, me being a Filipino, I think I'm able to help more Filipinos. I think that's for me, it's a privilege to be serving other Filipinos. Kasi I know, I'm a Filipino as well, I understand them, I know what they're going through, and
so you can relate and you can actually
and
represent.
And I feel, this is what I think, I feel that they feel more relaxed talking to me. And they can ask all the questions they want when they're in front of me. Well, di na kailangan mag-translate. Parang ganon. So
will we expect you in the national elections?
No. Wala.
In the future?
Wala namang sa plano yan.
For now.
I mean, you can serve other people even when you're not in politics. Diba?
And that's what you're doing now.
Yeah. And you don't have to be a politician to serve other people.
So what are the most usual problems of Filipinos in New Zealand? Na dinadaing
Apart
sa'yo?
from visas?
Apart from visas or like immigration or problems.
I think apart from employment issues, kasi lahat naman almost.
Ano maraming what are you saying with employment issues? Marami bang nadi-discriminate or maraming abuse? Exploitation?
Abuse.
And then with the Filipino mentality and Filipino way of dealing things, mas na-exploit ba dahil hindi masyadong ang tawag dyan, vocal, or they just want to take, they've given me good opportunity here in New Zealand, they're my boss, and I'll just follow, I'm afraid to go home without visa.
Yeah. So, very, ang mga Pilipino kasi, generally speaking, they're very patient and resilient. Hanggat makakaya, titiisin.
Hayaan na lang.
From the family. Kasi lahat naman tayong Filipino here are working for our families. I mean, that's especially ngayon na I think before usually mga student visa, mga SMC, mga skilled migrant. But now we are now seeing a huge influx of tradespeople in New Zealand.
Even in
And-
Auckland, mostly Hamilton, Christchurch.
Yes, and dairy farming, the agriculture, the tradesmen. I think there's a huge influx of Filipinos now. And of course, there will be exploitation happening kahit sa Philippines pa lang, even before coming here. And it still continues when they come here. And
So what do you think should happen so to reduce the exploitation?
paano ba?
Is it
Napaka hirap atang i-resolve ang ganyang problem, pero I think we should start from the Philippines, yung education, on what are the employees' rights, what is illegal and what is legal.
So is it
And-
but is it comparable in Philippines? Baka in education like employee rights, is it almost similar what we have in Philippines and New Zealand?
Kasi sinabi kong mag-start sa Philippines kasi most of the people I know or who come to me only realize that there has been exploitation or something has been wrong when they come here. Doon nila nalalaman yung mga dapat o
Sa
kung ano yung
Pilipinas pa
karapatan
lang
nila.
hindi nila alam na
Even with student visas. Di ba? Darating sa akin, parang attorney, hindi sinabi sa akin yan na ganyan. So, parang doon
usually
pa lang.
ano sinasabi sa iyo, attorney? Na hindi pa madali makahanap ng trabaho.
Yeah, you mean yung pathway. Hindi na-discuss ng mabuti.
Kasi what most people want is just to come here, study, and they will say, oh, there's a pathway, and I'll just do whatever I can once I'm there. But doesn't really think or research first. What is my pathway? Do I have a pathway for residency if I want to be residents? Some students are actually just studying in New Zealand to gain experience and at the same time gain that education to maybe go somewhere else, but or go back to Philippines to use that education. But mostly we think they want to stay here and settle here.
Lahat naman wala pa akong kilalang student na nag-aral dito for the fun or for the experience. I mean,
mga pupunta sa'yo. Pero may mga nakausap kami na they just want to learn.
Very rare.
Kasi meron din tayo from Philippines na pupunta ng America just to learn and get the experience, and then they can use that to
When they go home to their family
country.
business.
Home like business or to other countries to get that experience.
Yun. Ano pa bang issues?
Pwede naman i-cut natin to.
Yeah.
Pag mga
Siguro emerging issue din siguro yung family. Sa
Family.
Filipinos. I think this one of the issues na hindi na pag-uusapan sa community. Kasi, of course, I'm just basing this on what I hear and what not necessarily I'm a part of that, but what I hear from other people or even from clients na, of course, when you're in a foreign country, meron mga naghiwalay na mag-asawa, and doon nagkaka-problema sa custody ng mga bata.
yun.
So, and divorce, separation. So, yun yung parang mga issues na we don't really talk about, pero it's something na, for me, it's something na dapat, it's alarming in a way. Kasi, of course, everyone knows how, but this is just me talking, I mean, personally, of course, the family is a basic unit of society, and I think meron ng breakdown of the family. I'm not saying all, but there are situations because you're in a foreign country that somewhere and somehow families are breaking apart.
No proper support, or what do you think?
Siguro dapat maging matatag lang yung mga OFW lang siguro masasabi ko. Of course, they have their own lives. I don't want to teach them how to live their lives, pero I think it's something to, when you're on OFW, just always think of your family. I mean, that's your driving force in a way to come here, and just always think about your family.
Ano po yung tips ninyo sa mga gustong pumunta dito sa New Zealand? Do you have different tips for different types of people? Like, different trades or?
Siguro, of course, the advice, like how I do it, my advice is always tailored fit to your situation, your experience, your qualification. Parang one size does not fit all. So, I think if ang kausap mo, student visa lang yung ino-offer, matakot ka na. Kasi student visa is not for everyone. Diba? Also, in terms of workers, siguro know your rights din sa workers.
Saan po nila makukuha yung makikita?
Of course, nandiyan naman ang embassy and POA to help and in disseminate the information, but I think I'll leave it up to them. Pero yun nga, when siguro especially for people who are now in New Zealand, take advantage of the free seminars.
Tuloy po natin yung tips niya.
Tips. Siguro I think you should always take advantage of the free seminars you hear around. Kasi, of course, unang-una free. I mean, why not take advantage to be informed and be knowledgeable, and it will empower you as a person, someone living in New Zealand. Kasi, of course, every country has its different laws. So, you have to know what are the laws in New Zealand. And secondly, siguro, I think, as much as possible, I mean, this is just a suggestion, as much as possible, do not rely on, in terms of visa applications, do not rely on the experiences of other people. Kasi marami na akong napupunta sa akin, Atty, ba't si ganyan na-approve, ganyan. Si ganyan, ganito ginawa niya na-approve. Everyone has to understand na every application is decided on its own merits and its own documents and situation. So, yung ma-approve kay Pedro, hindi ibig sabihin ma-approve kay Juan.
Tama.
So, you have to make sure na when you apply, I'm not saying na always go to a lawyer, always go to an advisor. But what I'm saying is, when you do lodge your own application, make sure that it's complete and make sure that you follow the policy or the law, immigration law or policy. Kasi when you know that when you lodge an application, you're just following the policy, you are fulfilling all the requirements, then there's nothing to be afraid of, and there's nothing to worry about in doing that application. Okay. So the main office where I'm usually located, it's in Auckland. We are located in Unit 10, number 9, Freeman Way, Manukau. That's head office. But then I set up a branch in Christchurch. It's in Addington, Christchurch, and I go there every month. And actually, you would see me posting about free immigration seminars around the country. But actually, when I do get an invite from a community leader in a town or a city, of course, I always, as much as if I'm free, I'm welcome to do a seminar to their community para rin, I mean, of course, you're helping out other people to be knowledgeable of immigration. Kasi when I do my seminar, it's not just about immigration. I do some bits and pieces of criminal, family, yung wills, na basic laws na dapat alam ng Filipinos who are living in New Zealand.
Tama.
Okay. So, my law, Bagsic law is predominantly handling immigration. I would say 80 to 90% immigration kami. And then we do a bit of wills and probate and letter of administration. Ibig sabihin, kapag namatay ka, anong gagawin sa property mo? Hindi ako nagpa-property, hindi ako nagpa-family criminal kasi hindi ko na kaya.
So, regarding din sa wills, hindi masyadong familiar sa atin sa mga Filipino, di ba? Yung mga wills. So, gaano ka-importante yung will para sa atin dito sa New Zealand?
Very important to have a will in New Zealand. Especially if you have properties in New Zealand. I think properties doesn't have to be a house, a property. A property can be your bank account, your Kiwi saver, your life insurance. Those are your personal property. So kung meron kayo nun, definitely it's advisable to have a will. And also, one important aspect of a will is also about guardianship. Kasi kung may malilit ka ng bata, it's in the will where you appoint your guardians for your children if you and your partner or your husband or wife both pass away. So dapat may guardian sa mga bata.
Tama.
Kino-confirm ko lang yung venue. I'll be having a seminar in Manila. And then may Christmas party ako. I've organized that sa North Coast. It's open to everyone, past, present, and future clients, even friends and families. It's just my Thanksgiving to all who have supported me in my business and my profession. Of course, Christmas party, may mga prizes, so I'm just cooking up the prizes.
Wow.
So I'm
Excited.
hopefully I'll be able to send out that invitation very soon. Okay. Somewhere in December.
Paano pa ba kayo makontak, attorney?
So, I have a website. Just visit my website, www.bagsiclaw.co.nz. My contact numbers and details are there. Gene@bagsiclaw.co.nz. Number ko 021-453-276. And then, I have 3 other lawyers. Si Rodolfo Taer, who's also based in Auckland. Si Adolfo Manigsaka, who's based in Christchurch. And si Edgardo Atienza, who's based in Wellington. Yun na.
Thanks everyone for watching. This is Melds
And Rian
of Pinoy and NZ. Signing off until the next episode. Paalam!